जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनच्छलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी शुभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंश कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले स्वामिन् इति नाम्ने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपादमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानंद माधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। हरि ओम। हरे कृष्ण। So we are beginning today the 21st chapter of the Madhya Lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This chapter is entitled The Opulence and Sweetness of Lord Shri Krishna. We are still situated within the section of Shri Sanatana Shiksha, instructions or teachings to Srila Sanatana Goswami. Quite a few chapters, quite extensive. And like what we have discussed multiple times, these teachings are so foundational to our Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Now, sometimes people would say that, oh, this is some saints' teachings. Just like many saints come and they will give their own message, oh, this is how things are. Even though Krishna has personally come as Lord Chaitanya, so Lord Chaitanya is Krishna, and Lord Chaitanya as Krishna is speaking this spiritual knowledge to Sanatan Goswami. Almost everything that Lord Chaitanya is telling Srila Sanatan Goswami in terms of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, Lord Chaitanya himself is substantiating that with quotes from the Shastra. So Lord Chaitanya, and this is not just in this chapter, this has been the case pretty much throughout whenever the Lord has given his teachings. He doesn't just say, oh, there are these Vaikunthas and there are these incarnations and there are these type. He is giving quotes from abundantly from the Bhagavad and also from other Upanishads, Vedas, some from Puranas, some from the Vedas. Lord Chaitanya is backing up whatever he's saying based on scriptures. He is essentially bringing together various verses across the Vedic scriptures and trying to present to help us see the supreme position of Sri Krishna and the supreme position of Sri Krishna's devotional service, especially in the mood of the residents of Vrindavan. So our Krishna conscious parampara is very, very strongly based in Shastra. Even though in one sense, because we have faith based on Shastra again, that Lord Chaitanya is none other than Krishna. For us, whatever Lord Chaitanya says is perfect. That is good for us. But when we are presenting and defending Krishna consciousness to the world, especially other schools who have faith in Shastra, then we have to present all these Shastric arguments. Because they will have faith more in Shastra than in Lord Chaitanya. So the essential summary of what we as followers of Lord Chaitanya need to understand in terms of the Gaudiya Vaishnav focus. It's not that the Gaudiya Vaishnav philosophy is different from the Vedic philosophy, but the Vedic philosophy has so many perspectives, so many different methods of material and spiritual elevation based on the levels of various individuals. But especially Lord Chaitanya extracts from there the highest of the highest, packs it by Shastra and packages it so nicely so that that thing that we couldn't have figured out with our own limited intelligence, take out the essence of all scriptures. Lord Chaitanya has beautifully picked out that essence and very kindly presented it to the Goswamis and asked them to record it so that ordinary insignificant individuals like us can simply have that whole philosophy very logically and shastrically presented to us. So all we have to do is listen with faith, understand and practice. So we are so grateful to Lord Chaitanya, to Krishna, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namine Gauratrishya. Krishna, who's not different from Krishna Chaitanya, and who is come in a golden complexion instead of a black. We are so fortunate. We are so indebted that he has presented this philosophy. So in the previous chapter, we discussed quite extensively about the various incarnations of the Lord. Discussed the Purusha avatars, the Lila avatars, the Guna avatars, the Yuga avatars, the Manvantara avatars, Shaktyavesh avatars, in quite a fair amount of detail. And even though Krishna has been established pretty much even early on in the teachings of Lord Chaitanya as the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Chaitanya hasn't yet gone into explaining in detail Krishna's personal form, personal beauty, personal opulence. He has explained that Krishna is the origin of all the incarnations. He has explained, Ete cham shakalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Krishna is the original Supreme Person. He is full of all opulences, but he's detailed. There is not a detailed presentation on the opulences and especially the sweetness of Sri Krishna. Opulence of Krishna is definitely very wonderful to hear about. What for us, especially those who are serious connoisseurs of the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, are very keen to taste Krishna's sweetness because there's nothing more sweet than Krishna. Madhuram madhure bhyo api mangale bhyopi mangalam. The sweetest of the sweet, Krishna. So in this particular chapter, the discussion begins by a description of the spiritual world, Krishna Loka, the vast Vaikuntha planets, then the Viraj river, the causal ocean, and then the material world, where Krishna is situated, that is discussed. And also very, very beautiful pastime of Lord Brahma being humbled by Lord Krishna in Dwarka is also discussed. And the concluding part of the chapter is about some very sweet discussions on the intimate relationship that we, the Jivas, have with Sri Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya is getting into more and more confidential topics. So we are very fortunate. We are having the good fortune of being able to either read, discuss, or hear these beautiful discussions. So Lord Chaitanya begins his description to Sanatana Goswami. We are not going to be able to complete the whole chapter. In one sense, I could go through it very fast, but it's around 150 verses. Let's see how much we can cover. I intend to cover at least more than half. Let's see, Krishna willing, how much we can discuss. So at least we'll need 2 classes to cover this particular chapter. Not as long as the previous one, which was 400 plus verses. This one is only 150. Chapter 21, the Madhya. So Lord Chaitanya, who has just in the previous chapter described the various incarnations of the Lord, so many spiritual incarnations of the Lord. He says all these various forms of the Lord, these transcendental spiritual forms of the Lord, they are all situated eternally in the spiritual sky. And in the spiritual sky, they preside over their respective Vaikuntha planets where they are eternally residing. Now, this is an idea which not many individuals are familiar with. But in our Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we are very clear with this understanding that all the incarnations of the Lord eternally exist in the spiritual world. And that is itself inherently defined in the word avatar. Avatar means he who comes down from the spiritual world. It is not that when a particular pastime happens, then the incarnation, one of the 6 categories, just appears out of nothing, that the Lord is formless. He just takes that form, performs a pastime, and then disappears. That form disappears. No, it is not like that. Avyaktam vyaktimapannam manyante mama buddhayah param bhavam ajanantu moha bhuta maheshwaram. Those who are less intelligent, those who are abuddhayah, who don't have buddhi, they think that I was unmanifest earlier and now I have taken a form. They don't understand my superior, eternal, spiritual nature. Krishna is very clear in the Bhagavad. All of Krishna's forms, including his original form, are eternal. They are beyond space and time. They are eternally existing in the Vaikuntha realm. And how many such planets are there in the Vaikuntha realm? Unlimited. Unlimited Vaikuntha planets. Each which is presided by a particular form of the Lord. We know only some incarnations. So we may say, Prabhu, how many Vaikuntha planets can be there? I can count, if I count all the incarnations across all the scriptures, still there will not be that many. And we are not even counting the Manvantara avatars and the Shaktavesh avatars, even otherwise. That many. So how many Vaikuntha planets? Unlimited. Why? Because there are actually unlimited forms of the Lord, unlimited incarnations. We may only know a few. Only the prominent avatars, especially the Lila avatars, are described in the scriptures. There are unlimited. The Bhagavatam itself says, just like there are unlimited waves in the ocean, unlimited incarnations of the Lord are appearing again and again and again in various time and place under various circumstances for various purposes. And each of this form eternally resides on one Vaikuntha planet. Lord Ramchandra is situated in his own planet, spiritual planet. Lord Narayan is situated in his own planet. Narasimha situated on his own planet. Kurma situated on his own planet. And these are not small planets. Lord Chaitanya says the breadth of each Vaikuntha planet is described as 8 miles multiplied by 100, multiplied by 1000, multiplied by 10,000, multiplied by 100,000, and multiplied by 10 million. Whatever that number comes to, I did not do the calculation. That many miles is the width of one Vaikuntha planet. There are unlimited such Vaikuntha planets. It is so large, it is so large. And it is not a planet which is made of earth, water, fire, or either. It's a spiritual planet made of Satchidananda, the Lord's spiritual energy, the Sandhini energy of the Lord, which sustains and maintains the spiritual existence beyond time without any decay. And on each of those incredibly large Vaikuntha planets, along with the form of the Lord, are residing unlimited devotees of that form of the Lord. And all these associates, eternal associates of the Lord who are residing on this planet, they also have beautiful, wonderful spiritual forms. They have the Sarupya Mukti. Most of the Vaikunthavasi have a four-armed form, like Lord Narayan. And they also have opulences like the Lord, not to the same proportion as the Lord. They have the 6 opulences to a fair degree, much more than any, even the richest man on earth can possibly possess. And all these Vaikuntha planets are situated in one corner of the spiritual sky. It's unlimited Vaikuntha. So, what to speak of the expanse of the spiritual sky? Lord Chaitanya says nobody can measure. And then Lord Chaitanya gives a comparison. The whole spiritual world can be likened to a huge lotus. The whorl of that lotus, the central round part, which is the topmost region of that particular of Vaikuntha realm, is Krishna's abode, is Krishna Lok. And the various petals of that lotus, on those petals, these various unlimited Vaikuntha planets are situated. The whole lotus is effulgent, emanating out Brahman effulgence from all these various forms of the Lord in all directions. Each planet in the Vaikuntha realm, full of Satchit Ananda, huge, spacious. It's so vast, it's so opulent. Lord Chaitanya says, even Brahma and Shiva cannot estimate the length and the breadth of the spiritual world. So, what to speak of ordinary living beings? How we can even imagine? It is not possible. Then Lord Chaitanya quotes from the scriptures. He gives, and all these are all various quotes. And I'm not going to go through each quote, otherwise, it will be difficult to complete the chapter, but you can refer to them. So, these are very beautiful quotes from the Bhagavatam, where he gives quotes to indicate that there is no limit to the expanse of the Vaikuntha planets. And it is these Vaikuntha planets where the Lord's pastimes are eternally being exhibited by the tint of the Lord's spiritual energy. These activities are so mysterious, they are inconceivable for the ordinary living. And the qualities of the Lord that are being manifested in the spiritual realm are so numerous and unlimited that even Brahma, Shiva, and the Kumaras cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. There's a beautiful verse from the Bhagavad which Lord Chaitanya quotes. I think this verse is spoken by the personified Vedas, is it? No, this is from the 10th canto. And then I need to double check. It is said that maybe someday the material scientist may be able to count all the atoms of the universe. Is it possible to count all the atoms in the universe? It is not. We don't even know how big a number. We cannot even conceive of that to count all the atoms in the universe. Maybe even count all the stars, all the planets, all the particles of snow which have ever fallen. Even if any of these impossible things were ever achieved, they are impossible to achieve, but even if they were achieved, even then the transcendental qualities of the Supreme Lord cannot be counted. And this great, great, unlimitedly great Lord appears on the earth just for the benefit of us living entities. What to speak of Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma is still a Jiva. Even Lord Ananta, who's an expansion of the Lord, who has thousands of heads and who's supporting the universe, then he cannot completely describe the Lord's transcendental quality. He has been chanting the Lord's glory since the beginning of creation. He never says, "Oh, I completed. Ah, done. I have described the glories of the Lord completely." No. Even with his thousands of mouths, he is chanting the glories of the Lord. He is never ever able to come. So it is very clear. Neither Lord Shiva nor Lord Brahma nor any of the great sages and saints can understand the limits of the glories of the Supreme Lord. To speak of ordinary limits. Even Shesha has not reached the end of that limit. What to speak of Shesha? Lord Chaitanya is saying. Even Lord Krishna himself has not been able to find the end of his own glories, his own transcendental qualities. Neither the saints, nor the great sages, nor Brahma, nor Shiva, nor Ananta, not even Krishna. It is said Krishna is, of course, unlimitedly powerful, but by the time he can understand his qualities and glories fully, his qualities and glories and opulences have further expanded. And we cannot fathom all these things. Sometimes when we hear some of these things, we are so, our head will start spinning. We don't know whether to believe or to not believe. But we have to believe because this is what, this is not the words of some ordinary material scientist whose words can eventually be falsified, but these are the words of great, great personalities who are self-realized. So if even Krishna cannot find the end of his glories, and he is so interested, excuse me, he is so interested and eager to understand and fathom his glories, but he himself is unable to reach the end. So the Lord and his glories are truly, truly, truly unlimited. And that same Lord Krishna who's staying in Golok in the spiritual world, when he appeared on this earth, He appeared on this earth in Braj Dham in Vrindavan with the self same potencies. Even when he was in Vrindavan, nobody could find an end to his unlimited potencies. And then one very beautiful uh, thing Lord Chaitanya says, even when the Lord was in Vrindavan, just to give a glimpse of his potencies, in one moment, the Lord immediately created all material and spiritual planets along with their predominating deities. When the Lord was within Vrindavan. So it is not that the Lord is only powerful when he's in Goloka. Even when he's in this Vrindavan, he's the self same Krishna. So such kind of display of potencies we can't hear of anywhere else. Even simply hears about this kind of glories of the Lord. Lord Chaitanya says, one's consciousness is cleansed, one is purified. Then some of these opulences, very briefly, he mentions. He says, when the Lord was in Vrindavan, on earth, we're not even talking of Goloka, he had unlimited cows and unlimited cowherd boys with him. No one can count their number. In fact, each cowherd boy amongst the unlimited cowherd boys, the minimum number of cows that they had, which they would tend, their own cows that they would tend, were 1 crore. Some others had Arbuda, Shankha, Padma, which are much, much bigger number, billions and trillions, and each cowherd boy, and there were unlimited cowherd boys. And Krishna had even more than all of them. So I'm thinking, Prabhu, why are you wasting our time? Talking nonsense. Such a small Vrindavan. I have been through it from one end to another end. I can reach in 1.5, 2 hours. How can? So that is the Lord's unlimited potency. That is why we say that the Lord's potency is unlimited. If the Lord wants, He can fit the entire material world on one pinpoint in Vrindavan. For the Lord to manifest these kind of unlimited cowherd boys, unlimited cows within Vrindavan Dham is not at all difficult. What is difficult for the Lord to manifest? The Dham expands and contracts according to the Lord's Lila potency. Everything is possible. We cannot conceive all these things. Huh? We are always thinking in terms of three-dimensional space-time. All these cowherd boys, these unlimited cowherd boys, they all had unlimited cows and they all had their canes, their buffalo horn, their lotus flowers, their dressing, their ornaments. Each one had their own families and family members. They also cannot be described fully. And this manifestation of manifesting of the material and the spiritual worlds that is being referred to, where Krishna in one moment manifested unlimited material and spiritual planets in Vrindavan. Actually, this pastime which is being referred to by Lord Chaitanya is the Brahma Vimohan Lila. The Brahma Vimohan Lila, this is the Lila where Brahmaji, in order to test the cowherd boy Krishna, is he really God? I believe he is God, but he's eating food from the mouth of his cowherd boy friends. I must test him. He may not be God. Maybe. Usually I don't get bewildered, but maybe this time I made a wrong assessment. I made a wrong assessment. So he tries to test. He takes the cowherd boys and calves and goes. So that pastime, I don't want to go into the whole thing. I think all of you know that pastime in a sense. How Brahmaji stole the cows and the cowherd boys, and when he came back to see, let me see how I have tricked Krishna, he found the cowherd boys and cows back there. Went back. They're still here under mystic slumber. Then he came back. They're still here. So he was so confused. He couldn't make out who's original and who's duplicate. Until the point he became so bewildered that Krishna, in one moment, showed him a mystic vision. Within Vrindavan Dham, the Lord expanded himself. There's an elaborate vision where the Lord showed him the entire material and spiritual world. He expanded and he showed all these cowherd boys. Whatever we are just discussing, he gave him that vision. All within one place in Vrindavan. The Lord, in one moment, expanded into unlimited material and spiritual realms, planets. Brahmaji was so bewildered that his head started reeling. In 1 second they were manifested, and in 1 second they were all withdrawn again into the body of the Lord. Brahmaji couldn't believe it, because nobody can show magic to Brahma and impress him. Brahma's potency is beyond anybody's potency to be bewildered and impressed with his, supercomputer quad processor, four-headed processing. He couldn't figure out, what is going on, because there is no trick, no mystic power that Brahma is not familiar with. He is himself the master of all mystic powers, and he can even give mystic powers. He couldn't figure out what is this. Even though he's the creator of the universe, he couldn't figure out what is original, what is duplicate. Because Krishna's potency is of such higher quality that Brahma was totally. So when Brahma was so bewildered, and finally he came to his senses, he understood that this boy is actually the original supreme personality of God. He was struck with wonder. He fell at Krishna's feet, and Lord Brahma says to Lord Krishna, says, "Oh Lord, if someone says that he knows everything about your opulence, let him say. But as far as I am concerned, as I am concerned, let me now admit in front of you, my dear Lord, your opulence is like an unlimited ocean of nectar. It is impossible, even through the mind or through the words, for me to realize even a drop of the ocean of your opulence. There may be people, oh Lord, these are verses from the Bhagavatam. There may be people in this world who may claim, oh, I know everything about Krishna. Like sometimes, we read a little bit and I think, oh, now, I have become Prabhu. I know everything about Krishna consciousness. I know. I can, speak so many things about Krishna. I know everything about Krishna. But Brahma is saying, this our some original Sampradaya Acharya. See, if people are saying, I know everything about Krishna, let them say. I don't want to stop them from saying. But as far as I am concerned, I don't want to make any such claim, Baba. I don't want to say that I know so much. I just want to say one thing. As far as your opulences are concerned, my dear Lord, they are beyond the reach of my mind, my body, and my words. I give up. I thought I knew you. I thought I'm the greatest being in the universe. I thought I know you. But right now, just by seeing this momentary glimpse of this display of your unlimited opulences, I am so taken aback, so bewildered. I must now admit that I thought I knew, but I don't know anything. Or I know so little. So much. So if anybody wants to say they know you, let them think like that. As far as I am concerned, I don't know. Who can know Krishna's glories fully. And his abode also, the glories of his spiritual abode, Vrindavan Dham, is also so much. Lord Chaitanya then starts describing the Vrindavan Dham. Lord Chaitanya says that according to Shastra, Vrindavan extends apparently in one direction, apparently 16 kroshas, 32 miles. Even though from a material calculation, now he's referring to Vrindavan of this world, even though from a material calculation it seems to be a delineated area, 84, 84 kos, in just one corner of Vrindavan Dham, all the Vaikuntha planets are located. Corner. And we just discussed the size of the Vaikuntha planets. Unlimited planets of Vaikuntha situated in one corner of Vrindavan. Can estimate Krishna's opulence. So Lord Chaitanya says, I cannot fully describe. I am just giving you an indication, Sanatan. Just like we point to the moon by comparing it or referring to the branch of a tree. Shakha Chandra Nyaya. Can you see the moon? What is the moon? The moon is the one which is next to the branch of the tree. Can you see? So we are just taking help of something that we can see, which is close by to us, to refer something which is very far away, even though there is actually no connection. So I am just giving some indication to you. Shakha Chandra Nyaya. Prabhupada says, just like a child is shown the branches of a tree and then he shows the moon through the branches. So the idea is that first one should be given a simpler example to help them understand a more complicated concept. So that is that whole system of logic is known as Shakha Chandra Nyaya. So as Lord Chaitanya was describing these opulences of Krishna, saying, no one can estimate the opulence of Krishna. It is so unlimited. Lord Chaitanya's mind and his senses were so with devotion, he was so immersed in the ecstasy of describing the Lord's qualities, overwhelmed, almost perplexed by contemplating on this unlimited opulence. And then Lord Chaitanya started reciting a very beautiful verse of the Bhagavad. And then he started relishing its meaning by explaining the meaning to himself. So what is that verse? I will recite that verse. That was a very beautiful verse. स्वयं तु असम्य अतिशयः त्रयाधीशः स्वराज्य लक्ष्मी आप्त समस्त कामः बलिम हरब्धिश्चिरलोकपालै किरीट कोटि डितपादपीतः. Very famous verse. स्वयं तु असंशयतिशयस्त्रयाधीशः स्वराज्य लक्ष्मी आप्त समस्त कामः. Very beautiful meaning. बलिम हराब्धिश्चिरलोकपालैः किरीट कोटिदित पादपीताः. So the Supreme Lord Krishna, translation, is the master of three. Trayadhisha. Now this Trayadhisha word is very interesting from this particular verse. This is from the third canto of the Bhagavad, this particular verse. It's from second chapter, verse 21 of the third canto. So the word referred to of Lord Krishna is Trayadhisha, the Lord of three. So in this translation specifically, what is Lord of Three? Three can be is Lord of the three worlds, upper, lower, middle planets. Can be the Lord of the three principal devatas, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. So in the subsequent verses, various interpretations of Trayadhish are very beautifully given and explained by Lord Chaitanya. So this verse, the translation is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the master of the three. No one is equal to or greater than him. By spiritual potency, which is known as Swarajya Lakshmi, all his desires are fulfilled. Swarajya Lakshmi, Apta Samasta Kamaha. Apta means he obtains, he achieves all the Kama, all his desires by his energy, the spiritual energy which is known as Swarajya Lakshmi. And there is a Jagal Lakshmi, which is the material energy, and there is Swarajya Lakshmi, which is the spiritual energy. While offering their dues and presents in worship, all the various devatas or the lords of the various predominating deities, they touch the lotus feet of this Lord Krishna with their helmets and they offer prayers. So this is a beautiful verse from the Bhagavad. But Chaitanya further continues, says Krishna is the original Supreme Lord. He is the greatest of the greatest. Nobody is equal to him or greater. Matta pardaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. Next in the Gita. Ishvara Paramak Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakarana Karanam. Krishna, who is the Govinda, who is the supreme controller, Ishvara Parama. What is his body like? Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. Eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. Condensed Brahman. He is the origin of everything. He has no other origin. He is the ultimate cause of all causes. Sarva Karana. In this material world, the three predominating deities, Brahma for creation, Shiva for destruction, Vishnu for maintenance, all these deities are simply following his orders and instructions. He is the master of even these three. He is Trayadhisha. He is the master of these three. Each universe has these three, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. They are all ultimately serving Govindam Adi Purusham. And to substantiate this point that Lord Chaitanya mentions, he quotes a verse from the Bhagavad where Lord Brahma is praying, following the will of Krishna, I, Brahma, create. Following the will of Krishna, Lord Shiva destroys. And following the will of Krishna, the Lord himself, who has taken the form of Kshirodakshay Vishnu, maintains the affairs of the material universe. In this way, the Lord is the Lord of the three. And not only is he the Lord of the three predominating deities of the universe, he is simultaneously also the Lord of the three modes of material nature. Sattva, Raja, Tama. So this word Trayadisha, Lord Chaitanya says, can be understood in various ways. I am just giving a general description. If I go into details, this topic, Lord Chaitanya says, will never end. Another understanding of Trayadisha, the Lord of three, is that the Lord Krishna is the Lord of the three Purusha incarnations. The three Purusha incarnations are the cause of the material manifestation. Lord Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, and Kshirodakshay Vishnu. They are ultimately the shelter of the entire universe. But they are just parts of the parts of the parts of the Supreme. Even though these personalities are the shelter of the material universe and of the living entities, they are themselves Kala Vishesha. Beautiful verse that Lord Chaitanya quotes from the Brahma Samhita. यस्यैकनिश्वसितकालमथावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलज जगदण्डनाथा विष्णुर्महान् स इह यस्य कलाविशेषो गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Unlimited universes are manifesting from the pores of Mahavishnu. And in each of these universes, Brahma and other predominating deities are appearing. All this is happening just for what? Eka Nishvasita Kalam. For one breath. The entire creation happens for one breath of this Mahavishnu. That Mahavishnu, the big guy, that big boss, the main amongst the Purusha avatars, he is just a Kala Vishesha of Govinda. That Govinda I worship. That primeval Lord I worship. This is the 8th verse from the 5th chapter of the Brahma Samhita. So the earlier meaning I gave you, Lord Chaitanya says the general meaning. General meaning means he's the Lord of three. The three can be the three Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It can be the three gunas. The more confidential meaning is the middle meaning, where the Lord of three is the Lord of the three Purusha avatars. But now I'll tell you a more deeper confidential meaning of Trayadhisha. What does it mean what does it mean when we say Krishna is Trayadhisha? The deeper confidential meaning of the term that Krishna is Trayadhisha is that Krishna has three places of residence which he rules over. Three places, Trayadhisha. For our house, we can say, I am the Adhisha of my house, means I am the controller or the lord of our house. Of course, ultimately, we are not the controllers of our house, but in common parlance, we will say like that. This house is mine. I am the Adhishwar of this house, this bungalow, this flat. So the Lord is Trayadhishwara, which means he has three residences. His most internal residence, his internal abode is Goloka Vrindavan. Is there that the Lord's personal associates, his father, his mother, his friends, his relatives, they all stay and have eternal pastimes. That Vrindavan, that Goloka Vrindavan, such a treasure house of sweet opulences of Madhurya Prema. That is where the spiritual energy serves Krishna like a maid servant. That is where the Lord exhibits his rasa dance, the pinnacle of spiritual exhibition. That is the pinnacle of the manifestation of spiritual rasa. There's nothing higher than rasa dance. That is exhibited. Krishna's innermost internal abode, Goloka Vrindavan. That place is so beautiful. It is so soft, just like the mercy of the Lord. It is so soft. It is so opulent. Not just because of wealth, it's opulent because of this beautiful prema, especially the Madhurya prema. That is where the son of Nanda performs such beautiful pastimes. There is not even the least anxiety. It is such a perfect place. Below that Vrindavan, which is situated in the whorl of the lotus of the transcendental realm, the whorl is Krishna Loka, Goloka Vrindavan. If you come a bit lower, so that's number one of the Trayadisha, the internal meaning. Below that Vrindavan is Vishnu Loka, where there are unlimited Vaikuntha planets. We spoke about these beautiful lotus petals, right, which are full of various innumerable Vaikuntha planets. There, Narayan and innumerable incarnations and expansions of Sri Krishna are situated. The whole spiritual sky is full of Shadaishwarya. Aishwarya Sampurna. And that realm is known as the intermediate realm, number 2 abode of God. Golok Vrindavan is number 1 abode of God. Intermediate abode or internal abode. The intermediate abode is the Vaikuntha planets. And Lord Chaitanya says something very interesting. All these innumerable Vaikuntha planets are just like different rooms in the treasure house of Krishna, which are filled of different types of spiritual opulences. Different forms, different rasas, different kind of spiritual pleasures. And each of these planets, the Lord is enjoying these beautiful opulences with different rasas, with his different eternal associates. So below Goloka is Vaikuntha, below Vaikuntha is Devi Dham, the third abode. There are actually 3 kinds of abodes: Devi Dham, Mahesha Dham, and Hari Dham. Devi Dham is the material world. Mahesha Dham is the in-between world, which is beyond matter, but where the Vaikuntha opulence is not yet fully manifested. And then there is Hari Dham. These are various kinds of opulences of the Lord. Between the material and the spiritual world is the river known as Viraj. This water of Viraj is generated from the perspiration which emanates from the body of the Supreme Lord, who is known as Vedanga. So this water of perspiration, obviously the perspiration of the Lord is not like our perspiration, it is not H2O, there is no specific chemical composition given, but it is a causal water. What does that mean? It is the substance which separates matter from spirit. It's the borderline. It is the transition space. That is why it is known as the causal ocean. Beyond the Viraja is the spiritual nature, which is indestructible, eternal, never affected by time, unlimited. The supreme abode of the Lord. 3/4 of the Lord's creation, the Paravyoma, spiritual sky. So the spiritual world is 3/4, Tripada Vibhuti. Tripada means 3/4. And the material world is Ekapad Vibhuti, only one part out of 4. So out of the entire creation, material world with its unlimited universes is only 1/4 of the Lord's opulence manifestation. And the other 3/4, which is across the Viraj, is the Paravyoma, the spiritual sky. In the material energy on this side of the Viraj is the Devi Dham, where all of us conditioned souls are residing. In Devi Dham, Durga Devi is managing. She's the boss. She's the boss over living entities. Of course, she's the servant of Krishna, but she is managing the affairs of the material world, served by her various opulent maid servants. And in this Devi Dham, unlimited conditioned souls are residing. Krishna is Trayadhishwar. Krishna is the Adhishwar, ultimate proprietor and enjoyer of Goloka, Vaikuntha, and Devi Dham. All 3. Material world, Vaikuntha world, and Goloka world. Internal, intermediate, external. All 3. And even within this Devi Dham, unlimited universes. Each of these unlimited universes has one Brahma and one Shiva. There is no possibility of counting them. And just to emphasize the point of so far out, Lord Chaitanya quotes a beautiful pastime from the scriptures. How in the Devi Dham also there are, which is 1/4 of the Lord's creation, there are such unlimited universes. And he shares a very beautiful pastime of Lord Brahma, how once when Lord Krishna was on this planet, He was ruling over Dwarka, Lord Brahma, once because he wanted to discuss he wanted some consultation with the Lord, he wanted some guidance. He came to Dwarka, meet the Lord. Many devatas were already waiting in line. Token number. Okay, you are first. Indra, you sit here. Hey, Surya Dev, you wait here. No, you just came, no? You wait. Just because you're devata doesn't mean you can go in. So everybody was sitting quietly, humbly. Brahmaji came. So doorkeeper stopped him. Brahmaji is of course not used to being stopped by doorkeepers. So, yes, sorry, what is it? So it says that please inform Lord Krishna that Brahma wants to see him. Said, yes. Of course, Brahma he can jump the queue. He is superior to all the other devatas and all those who are waiting. But says, wait, let me go. And he goes inside and he informed Krishna that Brahmaji has come to see you. Should I send him in? And Krishna told the doorman, can you go and ask him which Brahma he is and what is his name? So the doorman, obedient servant, he doesn't have to understand the question. His job is to become postman. So he just went and told Brahma, this is what Lord Krishna has asked. Which Brahma are you and what is your name? And nobody has asked Brahma such questions. Please introduce yourself. So Brahmaji was surprised. He knows the Lord doesn't simply ask questions like this. He told the doorman, please inform the Lord that, I am the four-headed Brahma. I am the father of the four Kumaras. So the doorkeeper went back in, informed Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna said, okay, send him in. So Lord Brahma comes in, the audience of the Lord, and he offers his obeisances to the Lord. He worships Lord Krishna. Very beautiful uh, ingredients and very beautiful praise. And Lord Krishna asks him, so Brahma, what is the matter? Why have you come to see me? Anything that you want to discuss? So Lord Brahma tells Lord Krishna that, oh Lord, I will tell you what I have come to discuss, but before I go to the main topic, can I ask you that I have a curiosity I want to understand about. When I was outside and I asked to come and see you, you said, which Brahma? Why did you inquire which Brahma? I am the only Brahma. Can I please understand what is the purport of your asking this question? Which Brahma has come? So when Brahma asked this question to Krishna, Krishna just smiled. Krishna just closed his eyes and meditated. As soon as Krishna closed his eyes and meditated, immediately on the spot, unlimited Brahmas appeared. Unlimited Brahmas of different sizes. What Chaitanya says, some Brahmas had 10 heads. Brahma has 4 heads, 4 processors. Some had 10 heads, some had 20, some had 100, some had 1,000 heads. Some had 100,000, some had a million, some had 10 million. Not only different Brahmas came, different Indras, different Shivas also came, being summoned by Krishna. I thought, I was like shocked. Doesn't even know what to make of it. And the amazing thing is, all these Brahmas and other Devatas who appeared in an instant, as soon as Lord Krishna invoked them, they all could not see each other. They all thought that they had only come alone. They could not see anybody else. Only our Brahma could see everything. Very interesting. That is how the Lord, through his mystic potency, arranged. It is said, in front of those great, powerful Brahmas, our Brahma, only 4 heads. He said he felt like he was a rabbit in a herd of elephants. A herd of elephants is going, suddenly a rabbit gets trapped in a herd of elephants. What will a rabbit feel like? Like that our Brahma, Lord Brahma felt amidst all these powerful powers. All these Brahmas simultaneously offered obeisances to the Lord, and all their helmets touched the lotus feet of the Lord. And simultaneously, without clashing with each other. That's the Lord's potency. These millions of Brahmas simultaneously came and they could come and touch the lotus feet. And Brahma is watching this and he just can't figure out what is going on. Simultaneously, millions of Brahmas are offering their obeisances and all their helmets are coming together. They're even touching each other and a beautiful sound is coming. And all these Brahmas together started offering beautiful prayers to the Lord. All Brahma, Shivas. And they told, oh Lord, you're so kind. It's so difficult to see you, but today you summoned us or summoned me to be able to see your lotus feet. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It is our great fortune. You called me to take darshan of your lotus feet. You accepted me as your servant. Please instruct me what I can do for you. Whatever you tell me, I will accept as an instruction on my head and execute. And Lord Krishna just told them, be happy. I hope everything is okay. Is there any problem going on in your execution of your universal management? And all of them said, no, Lord, by your mercy, everything is going on wonderfully. And Brahmaji is seeing all this and he's experiencing all this. And all these devatas who appeared from various universes, they saw the opulence of Dwarka being manifested. They were also themselves astonished by seeing the opulences of Dwarka. Then finally, after that brief exchange, the Lord said, I just wanted to see you. Now you can go back to your abode. And they all returned to their respective universes. And when that whole scene disappeared, it was not just an illusion, it was actually the summoning of all Brahmas across various universes. Our Brahma, four-headed Brahma, who by now had become, was feeling so insignificant and humble, he again offered his obeisances to Krishna and said, oh, Krishna, formerly, whatever I thought about my knowledge, please, I now keep all those claims aside. I know nothing about your glories. Let anybody say. The verse that we quoted earlier, right? This is where he says. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think like that. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak much about this topic. Oh my Lord, I only wish to say, as far as your opulences are concerned, they are beyond the reach of my mind, words, and body. And then Lord Krishna gave a brief class to Brahma to debrief him about what he just saw. I will just complete in a couple of minutes. To debrief, he said, all these Brahmas, they're all coming from different universes. Your universe is small, only 4 billion yojanas in diameter. But other universes are much bigger than your universe. So they need big processing power for the Brahmas. So they don't just have 4 heads, they have 8, 20, 100, 1,000, millions. Some of these universes are hundreds of trillions of yojanas wide. So according to size of the universe, I also create Brahmas with processing capacity to be able to manage the affairs of that kind of a complex universe. In this way, I am maintaining unlimited universes. So I just want to explain to you why I said which Brahma. You aren't as unique as you thought. And then Brahma started really feeling himself that I'm actually so small, so small. As compared the unlimited potency of the Supreme. And that unlimited potency of these unlimited universes is just 1/4 of creation. Ekapad Vibhuti. Who can then imagine what is 3/4 of the Lord's creation? So the Lord's power and opulences are unlimited. So after this experience, Brahmaji offered his obeisances to the Lord, and he departed very gratefully and in a great humble mood back to his own abode. Lord Chaitanya concludes this section. He says, nobody can calculate the Lord's energies. And this is how we can understand various interpretations of this word Trayadhisha, the Lord of Three. I want to stop here. We have discussed around 90 verses. It's already 10:06, so I want to pause here. So we will cover from verse 90 onwards. So we have completed just over half the chapter. Thank you. Yes, Amit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hari Bol. Yeah.
Yeah, 3, 4 questions if you have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one, how come Lord Brahma didn't know about the existence of the other Brahmas in unlimited universes? Because this is a fact that is mentioned in all the scriptures, or is it that his knowledge was intentionally covered temporarily, for the purpose of the pastime?
Either is possible. Nothing is specifically mentioned here. Either way is possible. Sometimes what happens is that even though one may have heard about something, one doesn't quite fathom the extent or expanse of that because one's mind and intelligence is not able to conceive the greatness. So just like we sometimes we say, oh, the universe is so big. But then sometimes when we see these visuals of how the earth is so small within the solar system, how the solar system is so small within the Milky Way. The Milky Way is so small among so many millions and trillions of galaxies, then we start realizing how small we are. So, even though nothing specific is mentioned, uh, it may be possible that that appreciation of the extent of the Lord's glories uh, came in Brahma's experience at this point in time. Even if he had known in theory that there are other universes, he had no experience of them. So sometimes we are so used to being in our own world that we forget that there is so much more beyond. Correct? Just like a person who's the richest man in the village, he starts thinking he's very rich until the time he goes to a big city when he realizes everyone is more rich than him there. So perhaps something like that. Nothing is explicitly mentioned, but I would think perhaps something like that.
Okay, thank you, Babuji. Another quick one. So Devi Dham refers to the entire material creation, right?
Yes.
And Devi Dham and Mahesh Dham is on the other side of Viraj, right?
Yes. So Mahesh Dham is on the other side of Viraj. It is between the spiritual and the material worlds. And this chapter describes Mahesha Dham as the place where one has transcended material energy but not yet attained the realization of the Lord's opulences. So it is the place for liberated souls who not yet have transcended Maya but not yet developed Hari Bhakti. That is their in between place of uh, camping until they attain Hari Bhakti.
Okay. Got it, Babuji. Thank you. Uh, a
Yeah.
last question, very quickly. One part I didn't understand. So Vrindavan, it is mentioned as 32 miles, and all the Vaikuntha planets, it is stated, are located in one corner of Vrindavan. So I mean, how is it that the 3/4 of creation is located in one corner of 32 miles? That part I didn't understand.
Uh, 3/4 of creation. Yeah, we cannot understand. That is true. That is exactly the point. right? So if we cannot understand, it is not inconceivable. So we just have to accept this explanation at face value, because the point is we cannot conceive how it is so. So that's precisely the point of these kind of narrations, that we cannot fathom this with our material mind and intelligence. We are so used to thinking of everything in terms of three-dimensional space-time. So we may not be able to fathom and understand in the true sense because we cannot fathom spiritual existence. But essentially, what is trying to be said here is that as compared to the opulence, greatness, and expanse of Vrindavan, Vaikuntha is just a very small part. I think that's all we can we can say. I don't think we can conceive much more than that. At least I cannot.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So some of these things are one. It's so amazing, right? Like, just think about this when Krishna was with Yashoda on the bank of Yamuna at Brahmanda Ghat, where he ate some mud and he opened his mouth. Mother Yashoda saw the entire universe in Krishna's mouth, including herself and Krishna in Krishna's mouth. So now, how to reconcile that Krishna is on this planet, but at the same time, the whole universe is in his mouth? So, some of these things we cannot simply understand by the way we understand space and time.
Got it, Prabhuji. Good example. Thank you.
Yeah. So many of these things are achintya. So that is the problem. We can only try with our material mind and material intelligence only to conceive of what we have an experience of in this world. Some of these concepts cannot be fathomed by material mind and intelligence. It is impossible. And that doesn't mean they are false, because it is a lack of capacity of our instrument to process. It is not that they are false. They are beyond material logic. And material logic is based on the logic of our experience of space and time. So anything beyond the experience of space and time, we cannot fathom. Our minds cannot fathom. So yeah. So even if we try, we will fail.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Shalini ji has asked Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then there'll be liberated souls. No, liberated souls in Mahesha Dham do not have to come back. They have transcended material energy. Many of those who are in Mahesha Dham are devotees of Lord Shiva. Some choose to eternally reside in Mahesh Dham and continue to serve Lord Shiva. That Shiva is not Shankar, that Shiva is Sadashiva. Sadashiva is Karpura Gauram Karunavataram. So he's Karpura, white colored. So, yeah, there may be some who may go from there and graduate into the spiritual world, but they don't fall down like souls who fall down from Brahman. Mahesh Dham, please don't fall, they have transcended. The problem in these places, I shouldn't use the word problem, but the challenge in these places is unless one gets opportunity to associate with Hari Bhaktas, it is very difficult to go up. So we are more fortunate here as far as that opportunity is concerned. You understand? Even though we are trapped, at least we have opportunity of Hari Bhaktas, association of Hari Bhaktas. But in Brahma Jyoti, which Hari Bhaktas are going to be there? In Mahesha Dham, chances are also very few. There are opportunities, but anyway, we'll not go into that. There are some remote opportunities of some Vaikuntha Vasis coming and passing through Maheshadam. Then the Maheshadam Vasis may get a chance to associate, be elevated. Yeah. But they are all special. They are all liberated souls. They are perfected in all mystic powers beyond material existence. Okay, Hari Hari. Thank you all very much. Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jai. Hare Krishna. So I'll see you all on Saturday. Thank you, Siniji, Suraj, Shalini, Sudhir
Hare
Sundar
Krishna.
Prabhu, Sri Devi Mataji, Amit Priya, Anand Sundar.